Hey there, Sagittarius. This is Kay, and you're on the Collective Soul Tarot channel. Welcome back for another round of zodiac reading, starting today with Sagittarius. So let's begin. And I want to say thank you for being here, watching the video. I hope you're doing well, and please like and share. Subscribe too if you haven't already. Yes. Alright, so we're going to be looking at your past, present, and near future energies. So past could be near or far. But the future energy is near future. Okay, Archangel Michael. We have past energy is woman. You or the querent, a person you know, girlfriend, fiance, spouse, love interest, and feminine energy. Past energy. Okay, present day is birds. Communication, negotiation, chatty, debate, discuss, flighty, nervous, ADHD, making contact, noisy, text or call someone. Okay, so you might be either receiving communication or, offering it. Near future is the stork, transformation, change, active, renew, restless, arrive, depart, move, renovate, pregnancy, birth, slender, and tall. Wow, Sagittarius. Okay, so this is going to say that this is either you or this is somebody in your life that you have in your life. Pardon me, I was just scratching my eye. Sagittarius, so if this is someone you have in your life, you could either be female or male, it doesn't matter. But if it's a love interest, again, it could be you're either female or male watching this reading, Sagittarius. But yeah, if this is not you, then it's somebody else. Okay, we'll find out more. But there's going to be some kind of communication. Either you're instigating it or someone else is instigating it. It doesn't necessarily mean it's this one instigating it. If this isn't you, could be somebody communicating to you about this person, if it's not you. And it could be someone communicating to you about you. It could be anything. And the 17 card is stork, so that's kind of like, new, when the storks bring the baby, right? It's a birth, it's a new person. So there's a transformation happening, there's change, there's renewing. So it's possible that we're looking at, there's pregnancy in here, birth, slender, and tall. We may be looking at either there's information about someone who's become pregnant. Okay, and that there will be a new birth in the near future, or it could be that you are going to be going through a transformation. If this is you, you're going through a transformation that has you taking care of you in the past. Your feminine energy, stepping into the feminine energy, and you're communicating this to anyone who needs to hear it, right? It could be a love interest, it could be family, and it could be a friend. Love interest, family, friend, might be even your work, but there's going to be a change. So let's find out more from the Lenormand. Archangel Michael. I got 2 Lenormand decks here. What do we got? Okay, for the past we have the Tower. Now the Tower in the Lenormand deck, the Gilded Reverie, is a positive thing. It's I wouldn't say necessarily positive, but it's neutral, or it's just that it's about overcoming something. Like it's about getting things in place, even if it's like documents, but engaging with some kind of institution. It could be marriage, it could be education, it could be governmental, okay, international, whatever. And then we have this one for the for the present day, we've got Lady number 1, and this I refer to as the Queen of Cups. Card 29. Lady number 1. Communication. Communication right now pertaining to the Queen of Cups, Lady number 1. Interesting. Alright, and then we have luck here with the 4-leaf clover, and this is very special luck, like, because it's not that often you see a 4-leaf clover, so that's why it's considered lucky. It's usually 3-leaf clovers. Okay, and that's what we got for that Gilded Reverie deck. Let's find out what we got from the Dixie Lenormand. We have birds, which is communication. Just going to move these up just a slight bit more. And then we have the tree, which is about, being grounded, but also reaching for the sky, which is growing, right? And for near future, we have dog, which is a friend, a companion, someone's loyal to you. Someone's loyal to you. Very interesting. Okay, so what we've got here, let's see. You got some kind of communication from, if this is you, or I mean, if this isn't you, if this isn't you, you've been communicating with somebody from the past who's been making plans, executing plans to like they're overseeing, they're overlooking. Like, because when you get on the tower, you can see the whole land, right? So they're having a look at what it is that's before them that may have been on offer, or they put on offer or something, but there is something that they have been looking at, and they've decided to take action towards securing some, the legalities of it, the practicalities of it. Signing documents, getting documents. Passport, visa, citizenship, immigration. It could be employment. It could be to come over to go somewhere, wherever you are, as a international student, or just out-of-state student. Yeah, something that has to do with formal documents. Okay, so there's information about that, some communication going on there in the past, that you've learned something about that. And the birds here with this is that you have been talking to somebody about how you have grown. Yeah, you've been talking to somebody about how you have grown, and come to see that your heart is in it with this person. And then we have the stork, and that's about how things are going to change up. Things are going to change, become anew, renewing, right? Changing up. You're going to be feeling as though you have the luck is on your side, and that you are in a good place in the near future, and you've got somebody in your lane who is a loyal friend, or loyal, someone wants to be loyal to you, loyal towards you. Let's get more information from okay, just as I disengaged my mind from wondering what the two women are, this one here and this one. Okay, Sagittarius, you are finding out from, and I would have to say that you could be a man in this story, that this could be you, Sagittarius, as a man, but as a woman, Sagittarian, what I got from Archangel Michael is that this woman here is somebody that has been in your person's past. Someone that they have made legal plans to leave behind, and they've communicated this. They've communicated this to you. And now this may not be for all of you Sagittarian women, okay? It could be just for one or two of you. But it is that this person now sees you as their Queen of Cups, right? The one that they're in love with. Yeah, because they've seen how you've grown and developed from the last time they were in communication with you, if this is a no contact thing. But in any case, something's going to change in the near future. So we got the Magician and the Star cards. Okay, Magician and the Star card. Wow. So you've got you got things under control right now in the present day energy. You have done what you needed to do. You grew. You become a master, to become a master manifester of love and all good things, right? This is not the star. Pardon me. It's the sun. And what you're manifesting is happy days. A lot of blessedness, happiness, good things, good times, renewal, of course, feeling enlightened, being enlightened, seeing clearly. Just generally feeling good, and kind of like you're just happy from the inside out, like it's sunny days every day for you, kind of thing. Because something from the past is changing and it's showing up now in your future that you didn't expect to happen. Okay, let's get a tarot for clarification of the major arcana. We got my deck upside down, but it's a Six of Cups. There. That tells us something from the past that's coming back, Sagittarius. Ha! So now I'm getting the idea that you have been in communication with this person in the past. That when you, this is either you before you grew to become the Queen of Cups, stepped into your queendomship, or this is someone else in the past person's life, that they are making plans to, or have done so already, to sign off documents to kind of separate their commitment to this one. Or it could be that when you were in communication with them back then, that this was you before you grew into the woman that you are now, like the evolved woman, having learned from life's hard-won lessons, usually through a romantic relationship, right? That you've seen that there's just been too much legalities, too much impracticalities of the two of you together, or they seen that, and they cut off communication with you, but you might have told them, spoke to them at some point and said, I can't, if you're not going to talk to me, then this is it. I'm done, because I'm not going to wait around for you forever. Let's get more information. Boy, this could go different ways, right? So, Archangel Michael, can you please fill in the gaps here that we have about the people in this reading for Sagittarius? Yeah. All I know, though, is that there's two coming together to create a new, to renew something. Because the past, the past is where you met. The past is something that didn't work out. It's like the old story, right? No contact, whatever, and this person wants to come back around because they've come to realize they love you, They love you, and they have seen how you've grown, and they have possibly grown themselves. Might find out more about that, and that they see that you have, as a result of the hard-won lessons that you learned from the hardships that you've endured, you've become someone who is, a powerful person in your own right. Powerful person, being able to manifest all that you want, all that you need without anyone else, right? And that you are really quite happy. You're happy just being you, even though the past, you've become enlightened by what the past was about. You've become enlightened about what the relationship you had with this past person, what it was about. That's the Sun card, enlightening you. And as a result of you being enlightened, having an understanding and recognizing why things happen the way they happen, it puts you in a whole new at a whole new level than most other people will be. Because most of us are trying to project blame outward, that everyone else is responsible for our heartache, our pain, our lack of this, that, and the other thing. We're so busy blaming other people for our own life and hardship that for some reason, while we're doing that, we think that someone else has got control over how we live our life instead of our own power. It's our life, and therefore it's our power to live it. But we can also give our power away if we so choose, right? So you have decided to pull your power back and took a very clear look at what that was all about, that you experienced in the past with this person, when you were not, you were still kind of, you were more like a princess instead of a queen. You weren't quite as evolved as you are now, but you're evolved because you've got some notches on your belt, kind of thing. You've had to endure some painful experiences, and so you're able to look at the past in a much clearer way, enlightened way, and that makes you a master manifester. It's even like the Emperor energy when the magician is Emperor energy. So you've balanced yourself, your emotions and everything. You've got yourself under control. You've done your growing, and you're going to continue growing. You've just never done your growing, but you know what I'm saying. You've grown, and now this person is wanting to reach out to you and communicate with you. And if they're not reaching out to you, they're hoping that you're going to reach out to them to communicate with them. So maybe that's what you're doing. Let's see what else we got. We got the Wheel of Fortune, 10, here. Okay, so you thought this was your destiny, to be with this person, not this person. This is you, remember? This is you. In the let's just say pre-Empress phase of your life. This is the Empress phase. You're getting very close to being an Empress because you're a queen now. This is more princess phase. So during your princess phase, you haven't got the crown on yet. You have met this person and you thought that it was your destiny to be with them. But there was a whole lot of, possibly it was because the two of you lived across the sea from each other, different countries, different cultures maybe too, different religious factors, stuff like that. It could be anything like that that kind of gets in the way between two people being able to be together without anyone really even trying hard. It is what it is. This is the facts. The facts are we live in different countries, and in order for us to be together, we'd have to be married, because whoever decides to emigrate will not be able to stay in that country unless they're married to somebody, you or somebody else, right? So, and cultural problems, and religious factors, that could be what has been kind of like major obstacles to get over. The idea of having enough finances to be able to afford to be in a different country, or that may not be dependent on who's going where. if you're going over to be with somebody, they will probably have a job, we hope, right? They have a job. You would know this, right? They have a job, and they're going to be able to support you and themselves. And but if they move to your country, you might have to be the supporter until they're able to secure employment, but they have to go through all the immigration and citizen, well, at least immigration to become a permanent resident, right? I've been through this myself. Permanent resident. And right now, especially right now, when it comes to emigrating to the United States, with this is going to date this video, but with Trump, right? He's causing all sorts of grief when it comes to people who are wanting to become citizens who are not naturalized citizens, people who were born here. He's deporting people that have been here for a long time and are citizens, or not quite citizens, and he's deporting them out back to their own countries, and their own countries might be a very dangerous place for them to be. Scary business. But in any case, that you two had communicated, and this could be that you communicated online, socially, right? So it could have been like an internet dating site or an internet messaging site that you two of you met, and that's why you're so far apart from each other. But yeah, this is what we're looking at here, is that you saw them as your destiny. You fell in love. You saw them as your destiny. You might have been a little naive about it at the time, and maybe a little impulsive, who knows, because you are Sagittarian after all. And let's see what else we got. 7 of Cups. But then you quickly found out at some point, well, as far as they're concerned, this is like in the ocean, right? There's more fish in the sea to them. There's more fish in the sea, and they weren't looking at the relationship the way you were looking at the relationship. And so you got hurt, shocked, stunned. They left maybe without a word. Hi, bye, thank you for your time, see you later, I won't be contacting you again. Nothing like that. They just left you in the lurch, and maybe, some of you might have had some kind of communication from them saying that they're just not going to be able to see you anymore, to talk to you anymore, maybe not see you, especially if you're living across the sea from each other. But they just cut off communication, might even ghosted you, whatever it was. But if this was through social media, they would have ghosted you, and then you, without seeing them come online anymore, they're not available, you're feeling like you just been made, they made you out to be an option. You were just the number one on a list of other notches, on the belt kind of thing, notch on the belt. That's what you felt like then. Hurt you very, very badly. So now you've been left in this 5 of Wands energy, because you're going to be hearing from this person, because this is present day energy, or you're going to be reaching out to them. I would think that they're going to have to reach out to you, but whatever works, whatever way it needs to go for you, right? So you are in inner conflict about whether you should reach out to them. Inner conflict about whether, if they did reach out to you, how would you handle it? What would you do? Would you tell them that you've moved on and you're quite happy with the way life is for you right now? You've done a lot of growing, and you see your life to be manifested in a very magically happy way, but it doesn't include being with them? Or do you say, you know what, it's very interesting to hear from you again, and I've been wondering how you've been doing. It's be nice to catch up, to chat, and that would be about it. Just leaving it as being as benign as possible, right? So you're in the inner conflict, like, how do I handle it if I do talk to this person? How do I handle it? Inner conflict. You don't want to fight with them or argue with them. Maybe there were arguments in the past. You don't want that to happen again. Then we have the Emperor energy. Okay, the Emperor energy. Well, she's your queen, You've done some growing. This could be very well you in the Emperor in your masculine energy, Sagittarius. Very balanced. Heart and mind, right? Your emotions are under balance. Your mind is like, you're not having these thoughts of, oh, woe is me anymore. I'm hurt. They did me bad. This roller coaster ride, right? They did me bad. And, projecting that blame, right? You've not internalized it, but you brought it back to yourself, because that's what happens when you grow. You bring it back into yourself and say, how was I responsible for this? Because, as they say, it takes two to tango. Maybe a little too naive, maybe a little too impulsive back then. That you just, you grabbed onto this relationship that you thought it was a relationship, grabbed onto it, hoping for the best, maybe ignoring some red flags, who knows? There's no judgment. These things happen, and they have to happen, because we need things like this to happen in order for us to be able to grow and develop as a human being with a soul that's growing, to realize, to help you to remember who you really are, right? How powerful you truly are, and that you are, like, you may have been needing to have that experience so that you could be sitting in these shoes right now, standing in these shoes right now with that masculine energy. It may have been too much receptivity energy, where, feminines are like, they're givers, okay? Masculines are takers. And feminines might be over-givers. So you may have been giving, and they didn't reciprocate, right? They may have breadcrumbed you in the reciprocation, but never met the amount that you gave them. Well, now you're going to be standing in, like, I'm the taking energy, but I'm also in a mentally and emotionally developed giver. So I'm balanced. I'm giver and taker here. This could also be that person coming forward when they communicate with you as someone who has done some growing themselves, have evolved themselves, and are taking charge and standing in big boy shoes now. And then we have the Ace of Swords. Oh yeah, see how this one's peering through that, like, looks like a telescope with their sword. They're looking at you. They have been studying you online. They have been wanting to reach out and send a message to you. And they've probably been hoping that you will do it first. This is the idea I'm getting, is that they're kind of waiting for you. And why? It's anyone's guess. Why? Maybe you were the one who, like, being the giver, right? The overgiver. Maybe you were the one who initiated communication with them in the past, because they weren't seeing the relationship the way you were. So they weren't, like, constantly wanting to stay in touch with you by being the one making the effort to do so. And going halvesies on it, 50-50, I'll stay in touch with you because I know you're going to try and stay in touch with me. That kind of thing. You had that trust and just the belief that that's what's going to happen, but they didn't. The only time that you heard from them was especially towards the end, when all the ties were cut between the two of you. You were the one initiating conversation. So, and they probably responded, but it was like they respond the first time, second time, and then next thing you know, they fall off and you don't hear from them for a long time. Even, they might not even have responded to your last text message or your email or whatever it was. So it's possible that that's what's going on, is that they're now looking to see where you're at. This is the near future now, looking to see where you're at in your life, if you're still happy and well-rounded and still grown, or was that just a phase? Was that just a facade? Because if they can't really see you or talk to you through friends of friends and whatever, if there's any friends of friends, given the situation, it could have been online, they don't know They don't know if you're just putting on a front because of social media, right? Posting pictures and seeing how everybody's so happy all the time and everybody's smiling and we're having a great time. We went here, we went there. All looks really, really fun kind of thing, that I'm living the best life kind of thing. So they're seeing that. They're trying to suss out whether or not you would be open to them trying to rekindle something with you. Believing that luck might be on their side, right? Believing that luck might be on their side, and and that you'll see them as someone who's going to be loyal to you. Let me have a look. I want to read the luck card, because the luck card is not just strictly about luck. Okay. I see. That's a stork card. What I'm talking about, I need number 2. Okay, the 4-leaf clover. I gotta take my glasses off. Alright, let's see. It says here, I bring you luck and happiness. I make things better. As long as there isn't a negative card after me, I will turn difficulties to opportunities. I am the nice surprise and the happy size. Okay, well, there you go. They are wanting to bring not just luck, but happiness to them by being back in it with you, but in a different way, because there be some growth, some personal, spiritual growth here. So they'd be returning to you as a different person. I don't know how much, but this could also mean that this person is still married. So it'll be someone trying to communicate with you while they're still married. That would be for one or two of you. Okay, for other ones, it's because they are actually growing and developed. They have, through having had some epiphanies since the past when they were with you, because they've come to realize they're in love with you. So that you must have been on their mind throughout this whole time, however many years ago that was. And they finally come to the realization that they come to realize, why do I keep thinking about this person? Is it because I have feelings for them? Why do I keep thinking about this person and wondering and keeping an eye on them? Is it because I have feelings for them? Well, maybe I do, right? So they want to make things better between the two of you. That's what this card is about, especially if there's no negative card around it, and there isn't. That would generally be another card from the Gilded Reverie, but we go with this anyways. They want to turn difficulties into opportunities, and they have a nice surprise and happy size if you want to engage with them, in conversation and make the determination that they're worth getting to know again, to have back in your life. And I know there's a lot of you that are going to say, oh, I don't want that turd in my life. I don't blame you. Okay, so we've got the 9 of Wands here. This is you. Say, oh my God. 9 of Wands. Look at how much he beat me. I got a black eye. That whole relationship issue, debacle between the two of you, that you fell into that trap of falling for somebody who wasn't falling for you. That really, that's a patch over the eye, like a pirate, right? It's got you like thinking, I have really been mentally and emotionally beat down, but I am a Sagittarian. This is your card, right? 9 of Wands. I am a Sagittarian. I always pick myself up and dust myself off and keep on going and hoping for the best, right? So that's what your energy is in the near future, because remember, you're already thinking right here with the 5 of Wands in conflict. That inner conflict, or remembering the last argument you had with this person, because they weren't, they're showing red flags, and you were confused, and they weren't trying to explain, and they weren't apologizing or anything like that. So there was just maybe some anger in it. There just the fact that you, right now, if you were to hear from them, especially now that you're seeing this tarot card reading, if this reading is for you, expect that they may be reaching out to you, or you're determining to reach out to them, whichever. But are you going to entertain the idea that the two of you should come back together and that they will be loyal to you? You alone. No more of this option stuff going on. You're not going to be his option, another notch on the belt. So you'll be clarifying that with them, clearing that up, right? And then we have the Three of Wands. So this is this is either they're going to ask you to come across the sea, get prepared, because Three of Wands is about be preparing when the ship comes in. You're going to be jumping on it, right? Ship or plane. That they're going to ask you, or they're going to come and see you, either way. But it's like a full-on commitment. You're going to see. There's the Knight of Wands right away, the Two of Swords. But you're going to be taking all of this into consideration, because you remember the Knight of Wands energy. Slam bam, thank you ma'am kind of thing. What do you call it? Friends with benefits. They saw you as a friend with benefits. That's even if you got together, okay? But if you didn't get together, they were just playing online. They were playing online like Knight of Wands did, without any concern that it might, whatever they're doing to get their rocks off, to feel better about who they are, and that they're all this attractive and this and that other people want to be with them. But their whole plan is to love them and leave them, right? And that's what the Knight of Wands does, energy. But this time, you're going to, you still remember that, right? You know, dummy. You remember that. And so you should. I mean, how do you forget something like that, right? But you can forgive, but you don't have to forget. How could you? So then the Ten of Coins, this is major commitment. It's all about when this person comes forward, you're going to know, if you hear from this person, it's because they want to be in your life. You're going to know that, because otherwise you won't hear from them. Correct? So you're going to be having to do some heavy-duty rethinking. All right? And, pretty much that's where I left it. I would leave it. I would say that the Ten of Coins is either you going to see them, to give it a go to see if this person's changed, or they're coming to see you irregardless. You're going to see if they changed. And then you go from there. And it looks like it could very well turn into a long-term commitment. At least this is the idea, because you're both on the same page. You're both on the same page about this, whereas you weren't before. So if they've got somebody, if this is not you, this is somebody that they have legally or are still currently in legal process of leaving that relationship, leaving that commitment behind. Okay? So, but in any case, moving forward into the near future, it's about, for you, if you're not with somebody else already, you want to be with this person, it's about long-term commitment with this person. If it's them, it's the same thing. If they're coming back and they're communicating with you, you can know for sure that they want to be in your life. Because if they're not going to communicate with you, and they haven't for the longest time, if you had no contact with them, but then you know that they obviously don't want to be in your life. They're not communicating with you. But out of the blue, if they communicate with you after a period of stagnation, of no contact, then you know right away they want to make a commitment to you. So that's where I know it can be left right now, is that's where you're at. That's where you will be, pardon me. You're right here, you're still, you're living your life, you're doing your thing. You're happy, you're settled, you're secure, you are, you've grown into a person who feels confident, alive, and someone who, whether you've got somebody else in your life or not, that doesn't, that really doesn't factor into this right here, but that will if you decide to, take them up on their offer. Right here. Jumping on that ship. Okay, so take care, and please like and subscribe. Bye.